It's middle school. I'm chilling in class, got my Minecraft hoodie on, just vibing, minding my own business, and a girl turns to me and says, "You have a weirdly long face." Damn, she didn't have to say that. Go into another class. A girl says, "Kenny, can I see your wrist?" I'm like, "Sure." I hold my wrist out. She puts her fingers around it to show the gap. Oh my gosh, you're so skinny. You're like skin and bones. I did indeed have an oval-shaped, long face with a nose I haven't quite grown into yet. But to be honest with you, at the time, the only thing I was actually insecure about was that I was just super skinny. I thought if I looked more athletic, had more muscle, girls would like me. But that did change when I went to high school and got introduced to the gym about midway through, and I finally realized, oh, I can do something about this. I can level my appearance up, and I got obsessed with it. Despite the little bit of confidence I got from the gym, I continued having extreme social anxiety, struggling to attract girls, and just a low self-image overall. Fast forward to now, I look and sound completely different. I have a strong self-image, and honestly, it's pretty rare that I find myself worrying about my appearance. So here's everything that I did to fix being kind of ugly, to glow up, and honestly, one of the ones in here is controversial, but I think it's the most impactful, and no one ever talks about it. Starting off with my arch nemesis, acne. Shortly after I made some newbie gains in the gym during high school, so junior and senior year, just had this pizza face. And I'm just popping acne every single day, trying all these different washes, different moisturizers, different treatments, the benzoyl peroxide, the salicylic acid. And it got to the point where even my doctor prescribed me medication for my acne. And at the time, I didn't know anything about the gut or how antibiotics work. And one day during community college, I didn't have time to make breakfast because I was running late for class, so I just took my morning supplements, including my antibiotic for acne, and I go to class. And within 10 minutes of being in class, I start getting the most intense stomach pain I have ever had in my life. It felt like it was knocking on the back door, about to burst through. I didn't know where the bathroom was because I was new to the campus, so I just thugged it out for an hour straight, bolted out of class, sped over to my grandparents' house, ran to their bathroom, and it was an explosion. Because the antibiotic was wreaking havoc on my gut microbiome, destroying all the bacteria. And as time progressed, my face had waves. It would get a little bit of acne, a little less acne, a little more acne, a little less acne, all the way up to 2021, where it looked like this. Yeah, still not great. But entering 2022, because I was getting into self-development and I heard cold water's good for you, good for dopamine, helps you with discipline, XYZ, I started taking cold showers eventually every single day. And despite not doing this for appearance reasons whatsoever, within a few months, my acne began to drastically clear up. Because up until that point, for my entire life, I've only taken hot showers. I thought that was the only option, what everyone did. Every single morning, I was blasting my face and my hair and my skin with steaming hot water, over drying my skin, which caused the skin to have to overproduce oil, which was causing me acne. So tip number one is just to always wash your face with cold water, but that wasn't enough to clear it up to the level it is now. You see, another thing I was doing prior to that was dirty bulking. The majority of my lunches and dinners consisted of McDoubles or McDonald's and fried chicken. And if you are filling your body with poisons from anything, from food, from toxins, it is going to reflect on your skin because your skin is an organ. So I cleaned up my diet, drastically reduced my intake of fried foods, and finally I just kept testing products, different face washes, different moisturizers, different spot treatments, trying more, trying washing it less, seeing what works. This is what I do now. The face wash is La Roche-Posay Purifying Foam Cleanser. At night, I use a 1% retinol treatment. The brand is Paula's Choice. And for moisturizer, which I think moisturizer is a big deal, I can't use actual face moisturizers. They make my face overly oily, as it is. But this Snail Rescue, which is, I think the majority of it is actually snail secretion, snail slime, I found is to be one of the best gels for my face after I wash. I use this one morning and night. Also, the retinol helped me a lot with my hyperpigmentation around the sides of my mouth. If I ever got out in the sun a lot or was tanning, it would just get super dark and look stupid. And lastly, some of you just need to clean your pillowcase. Stop sleeping on a dirty, greasy, oily, poopy pillowcase. Go wash that shit right after this video. Next up, let's talk about grooming. And no, not that kind of grooming. Starting off with hair, like I said, I had that bowl cut throughout childhood. I don't know why, maybe I just really liked Ian from Smosh and wanted to cosplay him every day. Eventually I went to a stylist that didn't have a vendetta against me and they cut my hair fairly decent. I still had that swoop to the left and I would always, throughout the entire day, throughout school, adjust it with my hands over and over and over. And that caused me to rip out hairs in the top right side of my forehead, as well as keep my hair oily because I'm just putting hand oil in it nonstop every day. And my biggest tip for guys is just control your oil. If you're going out in public with greasy hair, it will subconsciously tell people that you are gross, that you do not groom yourself very well, that you are unkept. And that's before they even notice you have beta prey eyes. And from that point on, for the most part, I never really changed up my hair because I have a big forehead. See that? Yeah. It is the burden I bear for my genius intellect, so I've always had some sort of hair with my bangs orienting in the front. Except that one time earlier this year where I did the middle part for a bit, which was cool at moments, but because of my big forehead, I'd have to situate it a certain way all the time and it just became unmanageable. And now instead of going for the swoop, I just kind of channel all of it into the front, let it dry messily in the front, and this is what it looks like. It's actually not looking that good today, but some days it's pretty nice. But the point is I found something that complements my face shape, keeping it short on the sides, and also hides my giant cranium. And in terms of what I use in my hair, I've used all kinds of different expensive shampoos and conditioners, and sometimes I do need to shampoo it pretty hard if it gets too oily. But as of right now, the majority of days I use this Harry's anti-dandruff, because I was getting flaky for a moment there, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner with 1% pyrithione zinc. Now, I do not recommend people use a 2-in-1, and any other 2-in-1 I've ever used ruins my hair, but there's something magical for me about this one with the zinc that prevents dandruff. I do not recommend that. I recommend trying a lot of different things and finding what works for you, whatever you can use to control your oil. But enough about my hair, let's get to what truly matters in the black pill looksmaxxing community. My face. So as a kid, I struggled a lot with allergies, so there was a fair amount of time that I was mouth breathing because I genuinely could not breathe from my nose. But once I got into high school, I realized that if I just placed the tongue on the roof of my mouth, this little gobbler disappears, so I started mewing. Now that being said, to this day, I am not an expert at it, and I still can't get my tongue perfectly flat on the roof of my mouth most of the time, but I do think it helped because for the last little bit of my developing years, I was nasal breathing the majority of the day. And I don't feel like I have to get into the difference between mouth breathing and nose breathing. You can just look up pictures. Basically, mouth breathers look mad ugly. And real quick on this topic, I just want to say, if you're fat, if you are overweight, you have no reason, no excuse to be complaining about genetics. You don't even know genetically what you look like because you're covered in a layer of flubber. And speaking of fat, because I dirty bulked, I gained a ton of water retention and inflammation and fat to my body and my face. And during this process, I actually had no idea, but I began looking more and more distant from that driver's license photo. And to be honest, I never noticed the difference that leanness made until recently after I did a little cut and lost over 20 pounds, where other people were telling me, "Oh, Kenny, your face looks so much leaner, you look younger." I honestly didn't see the difference because I see my face every day. So basically just eat clean, experiment with different carb levels, and try to maintain the same level of sodium intake every day. If your sodium's jumping all over the place, your water retention is going to jump all over the place. And before I go into the top half of my face, I do need to touch on sleep. Something that people rarely talk about, but probably matters more than a lot of these other things. Your sleep affects everything else about your appearance and your health. If you are not sleeping well, you're not going to be as alert. Your eyes are going to droop. You're going to have those beta prey eyes, as well as how your body processes food and nutrients, which affects your body composition. Sleep good, guys. Be well rested. So when it comes to eyes, obviously we don't want them to be puffy, and if you switch to cold water morning and night, that's gonna help immensely. Some people even dunk their entire face in cold water in the morning. You can also get products to help reduce swelling. I use this one, it's an eye roller. I got it off Amazon, off of a recommendation from Dylan McKnight, shout out him, and it has things like caffeine, green tea, vitamin C, collagen to help depuff your eye area. So let's talk about the bags. You see, for a while, especially if you go back into some of my old fitness pictures, I'll put some on the screen right now, I had raccoon eyes, man. What helped them the most, obviously, is going to be steady, consistent sleep, getting some forms of sunlight at times, but also using a dedicated eye brightening cream. As for eyebrow grooming, I'm all for it. Some people have way too bushy eyebrows and it helps immensely. Also makes you look way more symmetrical to get them threaded, shaved, or plucked. Personally, I like to get a girl to do it for me. This is what my eyebrows look like when they're groomed, just a lot more of that straight lines. It looks super symmetrical, just nice. And now let's talk about the big black pill looksmaxxing thing. Prey eyes, hunter eyes. For the most part, you can see my upper eyelids. I actually have a decent amount of upper lid. But if I were to want to consciously try to mimic the hunter eyes, I would just keep my eyes very open, very alert, which you should in general. It actually helps you with focus as well. And then keep your eyebrows down. But to be honest, my eyes are droopier sometimes. I move my eyebrows a decent amount when I talk, and I just don't care. I think it's a little silly when you get super autistic about worrying about the hunter eye, prey eye thing, unless you have a severe case of what the fuck. I mean, our Sigma male leader, Thomas Shelby, Cillian Murphy, has prey eyes. And Pete Davidson, pulls models while looking like he hasn't slept in 48 hours. I mean, bro is literally on that perma bloat maxing eye routine. Now let's talk about supplements. Obviously, there are certain supplements for hair, skin, nails, and all that. But if you are deficient in a key nutrient, it is going to wreak havoc on your hormones, your health, and yes, your appearance. For example, if you're deficient in vitamin D, that can lower your testosterone, that can ruin your sleep, and eventually, because you have low testosterone and shitty sleep, your facial appearance is going to be altered negatively. The main three that I would say ensure you're not deficient in is vitamin D, that's the biggest one, make that the priority, zinc, which is crucial for testosterone, and magnesium, which helps immensely with sleep and overall good health levels, as well as essential minerals. Drink water with minerals in it or supplement with electrolytes or mineral drops. Now, in terms of taking a supplement to actually alter your appearance, the only one I've ever used and would honestly recommend is water pills. These are natural supplements you can get that typically have horsetail powder and dandelion root extract. What this does is it makes your body pee out all the excess water it's holding on to, causing you to be bloated and inflamed around your face and body in general. You'll look leaner if you take them. This is the one that I've used, Dry XT. I'm actually an affiliate with them. I'll put that in the description. But finally, I want to share with you what I think is more important than everything I just discussed. And it's also going to scare off all the black pillars watching this video, because during this transformation in my appearance, what you saw on the thumbnail, what you clicked on this video, I was undergoing an even bigger transformation in my mind. Because I had that self-image that stuck with me of a skinny, unattractive kid, it programmed my subconscious to believe that, and I would make unconscious actions that reflect that. It was when I went through my self-improvement journey and was trying to quit porn, make good habits, be disciplined, be masculine, stoic, confident, that I learned about all these things and how the mind worked, how the subconscious worked, and I reprogrammed my mind to be confident, talk to girls, attract people and opportunities. And you'd be thinking, oh, that's nonsense, but my appearance correlates perfectly with the self-improvement that I have made. And it is scientifically shown that what the brain believes will affect the physical body. They did a study with milkshakes. They gave group A a milkshake, group B a milkshake. One of the milkshakes was super sugary, fatty, high calorie. The other one was a low calorie diet shake. But they told both people it was the same milkshake. So obviously group 1 drank the milkshake and their blood sugar spiked. Their insulin responded as if they drank a sugary, fatty milkshake. But the other group that drank a low calorie healthy shake, thinking it was the high calorie sugary shake, their body reacted exactly the same, all based just on belief. So please understand that grooming, looksmaxxing is only part of the equation. And if you want to check out the other part of the equation, check out some of my other videos. Or if you want to speed run the process and get my exact protocol to reprogram your mind for authentic confidence, discipline, focus, check out Mental Mastery in the description. So please leave a comment below with your thoughts and experiences on this matter. And on the screen right now, you can click, and it is my 7 life lessons I wish I learned sooner, because they're kind of brutal. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.